Alexandra Zaitsev and family live in a military camp that is off limits to the public.
Keep going, keep going. Good man yourself. Keep going. Good lad.
Alexander serves in a secret unit manning missiles. When he's off duty, he always makes a point of spending time with his wife and children. He's well aware of the standoff between NATO and Russia. It makes him apprehensive about what kind of future awaits his sons.
Of course, my wife and I often talk about the future. We would like to see a bright future without crises. We want everybody to live in peace, and we want everything to be just fine.
The ICBMs are accompanied by a combat escort.
Today we have ice-covered ground, very difficult conditions for a thrust forward. I do hope everything will pass off without any incidents.
Trucks carrying nuclear warheads line up in a quiet glade. The snowy forest provides good camouflage for them. Together, these mobile missile launchers are called an aggregate in Russian army lingo. They need to be ready for action at any moment.
Right dress section. Attention. Comrade Major, Section Chief Sizov reporting. Unit is ready.
Stand at ease. Fall in. Prepare the aggregate for combat. Full haste.
The Topol intercontinental ballistic missile, known as the SS-25 to NATO, is over 21 meters long. It's almost 2 meters in diameter and weighs about 45 tons at launch. Despite its impressive proportions, the Russian missile still hits targets with absolute precision. Major Zaitsev's job is making sure that the missile launchers are always in working order. Moving military hardware during the night is always fraught with danger.
This is a highly accurate weapon. It has a range of up to 10,000 kilometers and lands within not more than 200 meters from targets. You certainly realize that, for the purposes of a nuclear strike, this means a direct hit.
The United States cannot give Russia legal guarantees that the missile defense system is not directed against it. This would be the wrong move, as the matter concerns the defense of NATO countries.
Russia feels compelled to take countermeasures because the United States has refused to give legal guarantees demonstrating that the deployment of the American missile defense system in Europe is not directed against Russia.
NATO countries are in no mood to restrict the deployment of their military installations to Europe. New American military bases may soon be set up in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, and Tajikistan.
Once Russia has been encircled by military bases, a new geopolitical reality will emerge. We need to take this reality into account already today and take measures to control potential threats to our security.
Meanwhile, the view that the missile defense shield is too expensive is gaining increasing currency inside the United States itself. It provides financial backing to the armed forces. Moreover, the project is making millions of dollars for NATO subcontractors in various countries.
Between 2005 and 2009, the U.S. has spent $50 billion. And the price tag for the entire program that we are dealing with right now here in 2011 is another $150 billion. That's larger than many countries' entire military budgets.
Some of the funding for the missile defense system in Europe is being put to use in Poland's north. The small village of Redzikowo is home to a high-security installation. The base used to be manned by Polish Air Force pilots. Soviet-made fighters still serve as a reminder of the fact that Poland was once a member of the Warsaw Pact, an organization formed after World War II by the USSR in response to NATO. The old warplanes will be scrapped by the US troops, who will arrive here shortly. They'll be bringing missiles with them. Local residents have already been told that they won't be getting any compensation for having the new arsenal placed so close to their homes.
We are not overjoyed at the prospect of these weapons being deployed a few hundred meters from our homes. The missiles will pose a threat to the local population of over 1,000 people.
Elizabeta Domanska, a schoolteacher, came to Radzikowo from Warsaw a long time ago. She knows only too well what the villagers think about the military installation.
Most of the people living here are farmers. Of course, they were very worried after hearing news of missile deployment. For the time being, though, the base and we are going our separate ways.
But even first graders in the village of Radzikowo are aware of the military base. But the school children don't fully understand the threat. So their teachers bring them up to date in the classroom.
Good morning. Please take your seats. Today, we start with a history lesson.
Elizabeta Domanska teaches her pupils about military conflicts. She insists that people should never forget history's lessons if future conflict is to be avoided. The military base in Radzikowo is in full view of the school. As the teacher tells her pupils about World War II, they visualize the base as a symbol of the past, the present, and the future.
German troops once used the territory just outside our school. Later, Polish pilots served here. No doubt you know that an American military base is going to be set up here. And there is going to be a new entry in the history books because of it.
Estonian sculptor Martti Karmen transforms the legacy of past wars into works of art. On the shores of the Gulf of Finland, he's found hundreds of sea mines made during World War II and the Cold War. The artist uses them to make remarkable objects. This mine, for example, will become a fireplace.
I think it'll make a nice fireplace.
The sea mines picked up by Karmen can no longer sink ships. The artist's so-called military style doesn't mean he's succumbed to fashion. Instead, it's an attempt to create works of art using something that was originally intended for destruction and murder.
You can make anything you like from these oval-shaped mines. You can make sculptures out of them. You can even make a race car.
Karmen knows from news bulletins that missile defense components will soon be installed close to his country. He says NATO missiles can easily be turned into beautiful sculptures.
The amount of effort spent on making such weapons would be much better spent funding the arts.
The people involved in this experiment testing their capacity for survival in a nuclear aftermath have finally reached their destination, an abandoned military bunker. Now they need to take a breather and warm up near a campfire. The coach knows that this kind of training is useful in any case. It helps participants to strengthen their skills and prepares them for any emergency in their regular daily lives.
It's great that there is a growing number of people who want to learn survival skills. Even if nothing catastrophic happens, they now have a different psychological attitude. This will prepare them for other small emergencies.
Those who've gone through survival training school are fully aware of the fact that the location of their exercise is fully protected. Officers at the radar station, including Major Vadim Kushuk, control the entire outer space over European Russia.
The Outer Space Control Center has given instructions to track an artificial Earth satellite.
All monitored operational information is fed to the Outer Space Control Center.
First target acquired. Classification, artificial Earth satellite. Distance, 1450. Azimuth, 333.
The staff makes no secret of the fact that the Russian radar transmitter sees European airspace in great detail. The station's unique radar tracks even submarine-launched missiles in the Barents and White Seas, the Sea of Okhotsk, and around the North Pole.
Our system is being expanded in response to the expansion of the European missile defense shield. The aim is to match the measures being taken in Europe. New stations are being commissioned here to respond to NATO's activities.
We will by no means limit or alter our plans for the deployment of missile defense components in Europe.
Russia has not closed the door. It will continue dialogue with the United States and NATO on the missile defense system. It is ready for practical cooperation in this sphere.